Impact is one map away from $150 and a place in the main tournament of the SC2 Improved Winter Series. Let's introduce him. He's the Axiom Esports Zerg player in the bottom left-hand corner, the green Terran. In the lower right-hand side. No, did I just completely mess that up? Did I really just say that, like, completely obliviously introduce aLive as Impact? I think I might have. Let's pretend that we're only just starting to go into the game right now. Starting in the lower left-hand corner, we have our green Terran player from Team Startail, who is looking to try and pull this back. He needs to win 2 in a row if he wants to win this group. It's aLive. In the bottom right-hand corner, our red Zerg player from Axiom Esports. It's going to be Impact. Okay, well, now that we can introduce our players correctly, that was a good start. Now we can introduce them correctly, maybe we'll actually get somewhere. Shout out to Ryan Hill 10, who's hit that follow button in the last 20 minutes, so actually about half an hour ago. Wow. So thank you for that. There's no other shout outs to be made just yet. And to start off this game, we're going to have a Reaper opening into a reactor and a command center for aLive. Nothing too crazy about that. Probably see that factory coming down in a few moments' time as well. Just a single Reaper to begin with. And yeah, intrigued to see how Impact's going to open once again here. He opened hatch first into pool this time around, instead of the pool first into hatchery, which he's been going for pretty much every game so far. I imagine that's because it's Nimbus, a 4-player map, and he doesn't really feel as though he can do anything with a pool first, but I guess that can only be, well, it's the only real reason I can think of, unless he just prefers, I don't know. Anyways, he's managed enough gas to start up his Zergling speed, and we'll see what he wants to do here. He does lead this series 2-1, and leading the series 2-1 right now, and we'll see what whether aLive can pull this back, or whether Impact's going to close it out in the next few moments. Barracks and factory lift, swap around. Factory going to land onto this reactor here. This is Nimbus, a map which a lot of Terran players love. Nice and big, nice and large. Of course, a big mutated player like Impact probably going to quite enjoy this map too. It's quite nice for you Mulisks. Once the opponent goes up to 4 bases, if he takes this 4th base, he can jump between this 4th and natural quite easily, for example. On 3 bases, I mean, you can jump from the 3rd in towards the main, but it's quite easy to get kind of sectioned off as well. So you have to be a little bit careful, because I mean, if you fly into the main base and then you're like, whoops, nope, Marines there, and all of a sudden there's Marines down here, well, your mutas are kind of stuck down there. So, you know, you have to be a little bit careful about it. Generally, the natural is the better place to harass, because you can come in and get out of there nice and easily, as Overlord going to get chased here, and he's going to try and retreat. I don't think he's going to get away in time. And again, Impact losing an early Overlord. Aliens and Reaper continuing to be made here. Impact taking a fast 3rd base, so completely changing up his playstyle then from how he's played every single TVZ which he's played so far today. He's going to be going into a 3rd hatchery much faster than before. Bane Nest coming down, and no lair is the main thing here. So, you know, a couple of games he went 2-base muta, then he went in that last game, he opened with a lair into kind of a fast +1 roach speed attack. And here on Nimbus, he's going to go for that 3rd base and see what he can maybe get done with this. So Hellions are coming forward here, already taking quite a bit of damage from these queens, getting turned around there, and Hellions need to be careful to move forward again. Then 3 queens dishing out the damage quite speedily there. There's a couple more Hellions coming across the map. No real signs of anything too crazy coming in from our Terran player. Just double engineering base being added on after the couple of barracks. He's already got that 3rd command center down, so it looks as though we're just going to have a very standard opening to this TVZ here. Impact with double evolution chamber on the way. Going to be looking to head in towards his upgrades nice and quickly, something which is you know, definitely not what we've seen from him so far this series, which isn't too much of a surprise when you open lair. You expect them upgrades to be a little bit delayed, but you know, actually getting up to 2-2 has been a real struggle for him so far, because he's just been kind of constantly held back by aLive. So let's see what happens here. Stimpak's about to finish up for our Terran player in the next few moments. 1-1, about to finish up fairly soon as well, and 1-1 again, going to finish up in the next couple of minutes for both players. It's actually Impact aLive. Okay, I thought he was forgetting his +1 armor, but he starts that now as he adds on a starport as well. So aLive just going for a very most standard of standard TVZ builds here. He's just going to build up. Once he gets +1/+1, he's probably just about going to have combat shields and medevacs. Then it's going to be about the time where he wants to start pushing out the map to try and deny a little bit of creep spread. So we'll be seeing that coming down very soon. A few Zerglings moving around, and Impact is not going to know quite yet that this third base is being taken by his opponent. Go on this top side, and we'll just have to back away from that, and we'll come down this left side now as a few Marines are going to start moving forwards. And the Italian's still alive as well, so keeping these alive, the longer you keep them alive, I mean, with an armory coming in, you're going to be able to use them in your composition as Hellbats, so that's quite nice. As a mule actually gets picked off there, so 4 Zerglings get a mule. Really nice little move there by Impact, and a little bit unfortunate for aLive as his 4th hatchery comes down for Impact to the right hand side. So hatchery on the way down to the right, and a couple of overlords moving forwards. A few Hellions moving up as well right now, and thinking about seeing what they can maybe do. One of them getting picked off by the Queens though, so as 1-1 comes in for both players here, we're going to see this push begin from aLive. His army not quite finished, he can't actually use Hellbats just yet, and we should see a scan here. Start cleaning up a little bit of this creep spread. Some more bins being morphed in. Bins being not ready yet. And this is the power of this push, because also, I mean, right now, well, let's hold that forward as we see these Zerglings coming in. The Bin's going to commit as well, the Queens too. And Impact has to fall back. He has to wait for a few more Bins to be ready. Without Bin speed, this is kind of hurting him, and wow, this is doing a lot more damage than I thought it would. As finally going to be able to push this back off of the creep. Queen's going to relay the creep, which is cleared up already, which is nice, but again, it does delay the creep from advancing forward. Now, aLive there, the importance of that push is, first of all, to clean creep primarily, but it's also such a nice timing, because when you're playing against a Zerg who's playing as Impact is doing in this game, and some Zerglings get defected here, then if you're playing against a Zerg who's playing like Impact is right now, then it comes at a time where, Bane speed's either just about to finish, so, the Zerg kind of wants to buy time, which gives you more of an opportunity to clear up more creep. It also comes at a kind of time where, Mutalisks are just about to start being made, and, if you've got an attack coming your way, the last thing you want to do is make Mutalisks. So, by forcing some more Banelings to be made to defend the attack, you actually kind of lower the initial Mutalisk count, so it's a nice little push, and of course you've got the medevacs to evacuate with, so you shouldn't really ever lose any Marines. It's a nice push. It's very standard in TVZ as this Marine gonna get killed off. This drop gonna come over here. Wow, there's an Overlord farm up here. There's a lot of Overlords just around the map. They do have Overlord speed, but Impact gonna have to be careful about that. Doesn't want to lose them. At the same time, it's aLive who's starting to push onto the creep here from the left. A couple of Zerglings getting killed off, and Baneling starting to roll forwards here. And well, mine hit initially here is pretty good. Medevac of units here. Not sure why they're still in the medevac, finally unloading. It looks as though Impact gonna have just enough to turn this around though. 2-2 on the way for both players, and the upgrade's fairly even. That's something I didn't think I'd be saying in this series if you'd asked me kind of last map. Marine getting picked off, that's a little bit far forward. Marine's continuing to be streamed out here from aLive, and I mean back at home, Curse of Shells coming in. He's going to start adding on some Marauders because having them in the front to tank and just slow down the advancement of Banelings with Curse of Shells is really nice. Another few Zerglings and Banelings coming forwards here, and a couple of mines go down, but still aLive trading fairly well as these units are going to try and push this back as well, and Banelings blowing up there. Medevac getting picked off. Zerglings coming forward and getting that Marine. As these Koreans go down as well. So, a bunch of upgrades finishing up on either side of the map right now. +2 is going to come in, and in fact, interestingly enough, aLive, Impact's going to come in and fight just before his +2 finishes, which is a little bit weird. Now +2 finish on both sides. Drilling Claws coming in as well for aLive, and we'll be able to borrow them with the mines a little bit fast as he's starting to add in the force to the composition as well. Some Zerglings getting sent up for a counter-attack. As more Banelings morphed in, they're going to be sent forward to try and deal with these few units which have marched forward from the Terran player. Wow, what the Mutalisks doing, flying over the Marines, not the way he wants to be doing this right now as aLive. With a 30 supply advantage, surely. he doesn't throw this one away. I mean, he's been at this sort of advantage so many times in this series, and yet he's managed to kind of lose it. And moving forward now, aLive, looking to see what he can maybe do. As some Banelings moving forwards here, blowing up on a couple of Marines. More Zerglings pushing forwards here, more Zerglings looking to clean out these Marines and mines as well. And again, just a few units coming forward at a time. Nice pickup there. Only taking Baneling shots on the Marauders, and again, that's always going to be a little bit inefficient for our Zerg player. These Zerglings which were sent to counterattack, not doing anything, just burrowed at this 4th base. A lot more Zerglings now being sent to counterattack as well at the same time. As again, aLive picks up and evacuates a few Marines which were about to get hit by Banelings. And, well, a few units here can keep moving forward. Banelings not sure where exactly they want to go. A lot of Zerglings now coming in to try and do a bit of counterattack damage. 2-2 against 2-2 means they can finally, these counterattacks trade fairly okay. And they're doing an alright job, but a few too many Marines here in the end, I think. And that will all be cleaned up as aLive just still sits in this aggressive forward position, continuing to rally forward. And Impact just hasn't had an opportunity in this game to do what he wants to do, to be able to kind of move forward with these Mutalisks, to be able to be as aggressive with these Mutalisks as he would like. Baneling is morphing in, but right in front of this army, and he's actually losing quite a few of those. As he's going to come forward once again, starting to split a little bit, just letting a couple of go ahead of the rest to soak some mine shots. And some mines do go off there. A few mines getting cleaned up as well, though. As aLive still just holds this position. Still no free from him, and that's a little bit of a mistake. I mean, if he'd started free when 2-2 finished, he'd be able to have his free upgrades finished at this point. 3-3. So, a few more Banelings moving forwards here, and Mutalisks again just trying to snipe off whatever maybe steps a little bit too far forward. A drop, four actually in a medevac here. There's a couple of Zerglings doing a little bit of damage here, but again being turned around. Impact not able to do too much, but he's moving forward. Big fight from Impact. Is he going to be able to have enough to push on through? Well, it looks as though he's got enough to kind of push this back. But there's a lot of Marines still left, and you don't know if he can actually fight all of those with only Mutalisks. He's got more Banelings coming in. This is what he needs, and he will come in now. The 4 will fall, and I think the few medevacs that remain here, well, a couple of them get picked off. Banelings and Zerglings still streaming forwards, and Impact time to disengage from this. A couple of Banelings burrowed there. I think aLive might have spotted that one. Another medevac, a couple of medevacs here actually. A little bit out of position from the rest of the army. First 3 now does start up for our Terran player, as finally he's going to be able to land his 4th base, which has been denied a couple of times now by Zerglings of Impact. So a couple of Banelings on this high ground here, as another as a Marauder going to go down. And aLive not in as aggressive a position as he was before. Nice little bait then. Finally we see a Baneling bomb go off in this series. We've seen so many great chances for it to happen. aLive pushing forward, looking to see what he can maybe do, as Zerglings and Mutalisks are going to come forward, but I think it's just a bit too much Terran there. The Banelings just a bit too far behind. Creep is looking good through the middle of the map. Of course, not looking so great in this area, which is where, you know, aLive has been camping for the majority of the game. As coming up this ramp, and some Banelings already going to start going off here. Mutalisks not sure where they want to go. And, whoa. Impact doesn't have any Banelings just yet, and leading the charge with Marauders. aLive is going to get a lot of damage done before these Banelings already. At first few Banelings start to morph in, but they get killed off so quickly, or the rest of them go off on Marauders. Mutalisks chasing forward, trying to chase down these Marines. I'm not sure what that mine went off on. I think it was the Overseer. As Banelings, Zerglings, and Mutalisks will force this back. Impact leads by about 30 supply at this point in time, but aLive ahead in army supply and about to kick in with his 3-3. Well, I should say it's 3-3 about to kick in. Impact has a base up to the top side though, and something we've not seen from aLive at all in this game is the heavy drop play which he was going for earlier, and the lack of that drop play has really been kind of, you know, he could have picked off this base up here, could have, you know, distracted Impact a little bit, but not finding the opportunity to do that here, which is a little bit of a shame because it's so fun to watch on Foxtrot Labs as these Baneling connections are huge. Impact takes a huge fight here, as at the same time he's finally counterattacking with Mutalisks for I think what is the first time this game almost, and in the natural there's absolutely nothing. This is kind of goes to show, you know, aLive, he was reliant so much on just having map control here to be able to hold on and, you know, to stop the Mutalisks from counterattacking. He never thought about turrets in his natural. A few more SCVs going down. 6 SCVs have gone in total. 8 SCVs in total now. And at the same time, aLive is pushed back once again from this forward position as he lifts up a few units and he'll send them out in a medevac. Impact escaping with the Mutalisks here, and we'll get away to the top side. 3-3 coming in for our Zerg for our Terran player. Remember, Hive on the way for our Zerg, so it's going to be a while before he gets that 3-3. Finally, the last few mines over here are cleaned up, and aLive still trails by 25 supply, but leads in army supply. And again, that upgrade advantage is about to kick in once again here in the game. Medevac loads up and gets chased down here pretty quickly. A few Zerglings moving forwards, but not able to achieve too much from the healing onto those Marauders, and some Banelands going to run past these Marauders, try and connect with some Marines. Not really doing all too much here. aLive still taking the fight to the Zerg player right now, as here we go, another stim, and it's going to be another commitment from Impact, but he goes a step too far before rolling back there, and I think he took a little bit more free damage than he maybe would have liked to on his way into that engagement. So waiting here right now, these Marauders once again in the front looking to tank. They tank one Baneling already, and here we go, the rest of the Banelings coming in. What can they do? As the 4 gets some good shots on the Mutalisks, and the Mutalisks having to fall back right now. aLive continuing to push forwards here. As the last few Banelings come forward, he's going to keep on cleaning up, and the Banelings going to take out some mines. The Mutalisks going to take out the 4 as well. But actually the 4 getting picked up in that medevac there. Really nice save by aLive. Cute little piece of micro, just keep important units coming. But here we go, he can push forward again here, and without the Banelings ready, again it's going to be aLive who's a bit of an advantage at the start of this fight, and the supply dropping rapidly here for Impact. Doesn't want to move too far forward because then Banelings are ready very soon. And actually starting to run out of Marines now. These medevacs need to get out there. There's so many medevacs on the field. Cannot afford to lose them. If he loses all of those, all of a sudden he'll drop 20 supply, and all of a sudden he's got a much worse army. Just to keep you guys updated, I mean, 4 bases up and running for aLive pretty much, pretty happily. We need to think about a 5th base soon, which is being blocked by Impact. Could take this forward base if he feels he can hold it, but I'm not sure if he could. There's a lot of medevacs starting to go down here. As once again, aLive is pushing forwards. He's gone a little bit further forward on creep now, and that will give Impact a little bit more of an advantage when taking a fight. As Impact does have 2 bases to the top right side of the map, and here we go, the Banelings streaming forwards here, looking to see what they can do. The mines clean them up without too much issue though. The Mutas are doing a good job of cleaning up the Marauders in the front. Queens are backing off as well though. Transfusers coming down, and Zerglings and Banelings are streaming forwards once again. Impact trying to just hold on a little while longer. Mine hits going off on some of the Terran army more than anything else, as some more units getting cleaned up by the Mutalisks to the top side. Some Queens still around here. Impact, is he going to get away with these? Transfused off. A few Banelings can come in once again, as here we go, as more medevacs getting cleaned out. The Marines as well, and I mean, from what was 10 medevacs moments ago to now only 2. Impact is taking some great fights here, and he continues to push forward, continues to look for a way to keep to keep pushing this back. aLive starts up at 5th base, realizing he's going to need that at some point if he wants to keep his economy strong here. And he's still quite far ahead on army supply. A little bit of a break in the action now, as Impact is going to have an opportunity to actually get some Banelings morphed in. Just morph in as many as he can as soon as his minerals allow him to. I mean, he's still got such a good economy. Bases all the way up to this side. And he's struggling on minerals right now. He's actually got quite a bit of gas banked up. As Zerglings and Banelings streaming forwards here once again, and they're coming forwards and they're gonna connect, kind of okayish, but not great. There's still a lot of Marines left over. More Banelings being morphed, more Zerglings on the way. And Impact, can he make enough here to attack forwards and finally clean this out? Muir's going to come forward and clean up these Marauders in the front. That's always nice to see, as these mines get cleaned out before they can get a shot off. And a couple more Banelings on the way in. And aLive keeps pushing forwards as well. The Mutas are coming forwards too. Here are the Banelings also, but the Muta count is going. The Muta count is gone almost. 5 Mutas left. And he turns this around, but at what cost? At the same time, he's seen orbital command built in his forward position. So if Impact could just break this army one time, he's going to be able to take down what is one of the main mining bases now of aLive. But that's not just yet, and the Banelings keep moving forward. They keep trying to do whatever they can. The Marines are fighting against these Mutas. 26 more Lings, 8 more Mutas being made right now. And Impact maybe just wants to give up a base or two for a little while. And again, you know, give up a base or something. And there's a couple of Banelings go off, not able to achieve too much there. More Mutas on the way out here. Zerglings and Mutas are going to try and buy some time. Transfusers will come down on the Mutalisks, perhaps from the Queens, as more Zerglings keep streaming in, trying to buy time for those 4 Banelings to morph in. As Transfusers on the Mutalisks as best he can. As aLive once again here, the Baneling hits are kind of pretty decent, and Zerglings streaming in as well. There's still a lot more Zerglings streaming through, and the mines are getting cleaned up, and mine's going to go off on the Mutalisk. No, it actually goes off on Zerglings, doing some friendly fire in the process. More Zerglings still coming forwards here. Impact still holds a lead in overall supply, but behind in army supply. Mutas are dying once again to these Marines. Zerglings are trying to clean up wherever they can. Mines blowing up Marines left, right, and center, and Impact still holds a similar lead. 26 more Zerglings. There's just not enough bio, and it's going to be forced backwards here at least a little bit. And aLive just needs to regroup for a few moments, and that'll be a well-deserved and needed break for Impact now, as he starts morphing a bunch more Banelings here, and coming forward, fighting this with these Marines again. Fighting these Marines with the Zerglings again. The mine's been a little bit troublesome, but a couple of those don't get picked off. But more Marines coming forward. But I think Impact this time has a little bit too much for only 8 Marines to be too efficient against. I think aLive should stop making medevacs and start just focusing on pure Marine production, because he just needs units. He needs any kind of number of units right now. As a Marine going to get picked off in the front here, going to pick off another Marine nearly. Not quite though. Again, he's lost a lot of Mutalisks in this. How many Mutalisks has he lost in this game? 52. 25 medevacs killed. What on earth? As again, he doesn't want to go too far forward. He doesn't want to go too far off of the creep, because that is a big advantage for him to fight with. And Impact morphs in a few more Banelings, more Mutas, more Banelings on the way. Imagine one single dropship up here just trying to shut down this base, just stopping some of this economy from actually being a thing for Impact. A lot of drones which were earlier AFK, or have been AFK in the natural, are now being moved up to the top side. And aLive should see that and should know, well, you know, the space is up there. Not like, you know, surely you can't think. Okay, so he has seen them bases. He knows they're there. A single dropship would do so much work. And as aLive pushing forwards here, he has the supply lead. Banelings starting to move forward as well. Need a split because he can't afford to send the Banelings into mines. And having too many big mine shots going off. Moving forward again here, I'm not too sure about this, because I think 30, 40 more Lings about to pop out. He needs to fight with them, so just waiting here to see what's going to happen. As these Banelings are going to come forward, and oh no, aLive isn't really pre-split right now. The Baneling hits are huge! No, aLive! Surely not. After fighting all this time, well, Impact's starting to throw this a little bit maybe, because he's running into the Marines with the Mutalisks. Is there enough? This Baneling's kind of coming through. I can't really see what's happening. I think the Marines are going to take down every single Mutalisk, and what a roller coaster of back and forth engagements.